Wow, it took me a while to set this up just to see if it was working. And it made me realize that there's so much that goes into making YouTube videos that we don't see. And I don't think I ever really knew this because I've never made YouTube videos. And this is just talking head videos, so I can't even imagine the amount of work that goes into the other kind of YouTube videos that exist. It's kind of strange for me to be able to want to be so in relationship with technology right now, because in the last few months I was actually feeling so disconnected from it and wondering how did we get here? How do we get to this point of time where we use our screens and technology so much? It feels all a bit much and a bit intense, and I was just feeling extremely overwhelmed and disconnected by this thing that exists on Earth now. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, technology was a part of our lives, but it wasn't such a huge part of our lives in the way it is now. And I'm 31, so I'm a millennial. I was born in 1994. It's kind of long ago, but not so long ago as well. And yeah, smartphones weren't a thing when I was a kid or a teenager. It had just started around then. I remember the invention of Blackberries when I was in 6th or 7th grade, and it was just the beginning of being able to be in so much touch with people constantly. But I also remember when we all had flip phones and Nokia phones that all you could do was text and call people, and there was no WhatsApp and no Instagram, where you actually see what people are doing pretty often. Yeah, and I think I've just been feeling actually quite just shocked at the state of the world on one end, but then also feeling okay, I kind of came into this space where it's it's a tool to share things now, and it's a tool to also use the voice of my soul, which is why I ended up here anyway, creating this channel. Yeah. Hi. I'm just gonna keep these talking form videos for now. I feel that comes to me naturally, and it's really also about just trusting what wants to emerge rather than me planning and editing. That's not the vibe of what I'm about, and what I'm also feeling drawn to create through this medium is just showing up and being honest and real, and trusting what wants to emerge from here. Yeah. Something that was coming to me though before I started this video and before I went on this little ramble about technology was that I wanted to share that last year I experienced such a deep, profound ancestral ceremony where I really connected with the depth of one of the lineages that I come from. And I really realized how deeply intertwined Sufism is in the Sindhi lineage I come from. And it moved something very big in me. I remembered something a lot bigger than me. And I think that is such a intimate experience that I had, that there is a part of me that's also this is, especially in recent times, I've kind of noticed this part emerge, that perhaps these really intimate, sacred spaces of ceremony that we experience, they're ours to just hold on to and keep sacred. it is also a new thing for me to like feel that way, because I've always just been very like open. But then I've also realized that sometimes I think I have been too open, and it has like backfired. I have learned that in recent months. And so there's a part of me that's also like, some things are not needed to be shared. But there's another part of me that's like, I think it's important to also share the depth of what we can meet when we embark on the journey of growth, spirituality, healing, like whatever you want to call it, transformation, personal development. Because I think a lot of people don't fully understand or know the depth of this work as well. Like, so much of what we see online, it feels like so mixed. We tend to like create our own judgments and perspectives from those things, but also like from stories we hear from people around us. And I mean, that's just the nature of the human mind doing its thing. But I feel like it's important to also just like share like honest, real stories. And I think that's like another intention of mine, to create this channel, to just share like my honest, real story, my journey, which has been quite a journey, which maybe you'll slowly get to know as I continue to shoot these videos. But yeah, I think that there's so much that can happen in these ceremonial spaces, in healing spaces, in spiritual spaces, in places of growth, in places where you are going there to meet yourself more deeply. But somehow, like, there's also a lot of misunderstandings and perspectives about what happens in these places. Like, I remember once I was at a retreat where I was a facilitator, and the participant later on at some point, like towards the end of the retreat, they were like saying how, yeah, like when they joined the retreat and they saw all these videos that were being promoted about it, like they saw everyone so happy and open, and they didn't know how it would be possible for them to experience that. They thought like people were on something, but then they realized that no, this is actually real, like it's possible to experience this. And I remember like hearing that and being like, huh? And they were like, yeah, people actually think that. People think that, and there are people maybe that do this, I don't know, that like, yeah, people think supposedly that at retreat spaces you are given something that makes you like happy. But yeah, actually I think that the flip side of meeting the depth of your grief and meeting your pain is actually experiencing joy and happiness. So I've seen that time and time again. Like, people enter spaces with a certain heaviness or pain, and they leave it lighter. Of course, like, the journey of life is such that we keep experiencing waves of heaviness and grief and darkness, but of course these spaces also have a lot of magic and depth. And yeah, I think it's really important to like recognize that in the world we live in now. I feel like there's a sort of aversion towards spirituality and healing and growth sometimes from people, thinking it's woo-woo or that it's too much. I don't think it's woo-woo or too much. I think it's what's actually going to make the world a better place. Like, if people were more connected to their pain, we would be living in a more joyful world. Because the reason there is so much pain and suffering in this world is because people are so disconnected from their pain. Like, Donald Trump, he is probably, not probably, he's 100% like a child that is just in pain. And because he's a child that is in pain, he is creating pain for so many people. Like, it's like sad. But yeah, I think that politicians and just people that are causing a lot of hurt and suffering, they're just hurt people themselves. Like, and if we all knew how to like sit with the depth of our pain, this world would be so much of a better place. So yeah, I think healing and growth and spirituality is really important, especially even more so now in these times we live in. Yes, it's always been important, but I think that this particular time in history, where it feels like things are just getting more polarizing and intense, it feels like it is more important than ever actually to meet the depth of your grief and your pain, because your suffering is actually a shackle that is holding you back and also affecting how we are treating Mother Earth. And it is so important for us to liberate ourselves from our own suffering and also like work towards making this world a better place. Like, and we can only really like do that actively when we are also in complete connection with our pain, our joy, our grief, our love. Yeah, I guess this is it for today. Thank you for watching, for listening. I am curious and excited to see what sharing my voice more just creates within myself and otherwise as well. So yeah.